where there are opportunities, and it doesn't take a pile of money, sometimes to position yourself to get into a business. We are always criticized as blacks. We're always told that, we are the reason that the country is at a stalemate or has stalled economically, while our economy isn't succeeding. We're always criticized with being on welfare. We're always criticized with having our hand out waiting for someone to give us something. And so that's what we alluded to in the first episode. But what I want to say about that today is simple. Don't believe the hype. The black population is 12% of our total national population, which is approximately 320 million to date. And so as blacks, we make up about 36 million of that 320 million. And if you are to suggest that black people are a drain on the social system, then when I look around, I don't know, maybe it's just in my little world, but when I look around, most of the people I know are working and trying to get something. They're not just sitting back waiting on the handout. So I think it's disingenuous when the powers to be take and try to depict that black people are basically leeches, that we're just sponges and we're waiting, for someone to do something in the sense that we're not willing to do for ourselves. I was recently looking at CNN, and Don Lemon had stated that he had a confrontation with Russell Simmons, and he was replying to his effort. He reached out and basically said, similar to what I said in the first episode, black people, we need to take accountability. That is not to say that black people are lazy, black people are just unconcerned with their best interests. Don Lemon's episode, he cited Dr. King, he cited Malcolm X, he cited Michelle Obama, he cited Barack Obama's, all saying virtually the same thing. We need to self-empower. We need to step out and do more and not simply accept that there is a minimal amount that we were able to achieve. And so Russell Simmons, his issue with Don Lemon was he talked about, from a conservative perspective, basically criticizing Don Lemon and telling him that he was a conservative and he was only concerned with, as most conservatives, progression for wealthy people, and that black people, their struggle is disingenuous. So my point is simple. We, as black people, and people of color, not just black people, but especially black people, we can take accountability, by starting with not having to wait for another Dr. King or some major figure in our society to lead or be an example, for us to follow. We can set our own examples within our own households. Our children should look at their mothers and fathers and see, something in what their parents have done and say, that's what I want to do. And it doesn't mean that you have to strive to try to be the president of the United States as Barack Obama or some major, mogul in our community, such as Russell Simmons. You can simply own a small business. You can simply position yourself to go up the ranks and do things that are going to set good examples, for our youth. Beyond that, as I said, he who controls the media controls the world. And so often the media is used as a tool or a weapon against black people. We saw here also recently on Fox News and CNN, they showed where there were 3 black kids in Florida who beat up this kid on a bus, and they asked, where is the outcry now from the black community? Why are black people not so outraged now and demanding accountability? And so, were the powers to be, those who control the media, were they really concerned with the fact that these 3 black kids, beat this child up? Or were they trying to use that as another opportunity to say black people, are violent, black people are hypocrites because we do things ourselves that we don't want other people, as in white people, to do? I can't really tell you what the media's reason was, but I can tell you that often I will see on the local news in my hometown here that the media will show a crime committed by a white person, but they'll turn around, and I don't know if this is called this fair and balanced thing, which I don't think is fair and balanced. They'll turn around, and if they have to go nationally to another state and find some incident that was a crime committed by a black person, and then they will show that same crime, or show that crime in order to, in my opinion, is to say that black people are committing crimes as well. But on the other hand, when I see them show a black crime that was committed locally, they don't go nationally and search to find a crime committed by a white person to say, to balance the same aspects. So what I would ask from those, the powers to be, those who control the media, is turn your cameras and focus on the truth. It's not always necessary to show black versus white. If there is a reason or logical purpose in doing that, then so be it. But if the only purpose is to constantly remind black people that from a societal perspective that they are violent, then the media is being disingenuous. I want to also talk about something else I recently saw in the media. Whitey Boulder was convicted, as we found out here a day or 2 ago, and he had allegedly committed 19 murders and had other charges from racketeering to you name it. And when Trayvon Martin, during his trial, the issue came up relating to Chicago, the violence in Chicago, and again, black people were so